Yes. Yes, 5-0. Next is monthly financial report.
As John's coming forward, let me, each of you got, I think, an email from me that pointed out that we're seeing some kind of softness in our FPL, not some softness, we're seeing softness in our FPL franchise taxes, and again in the interest earnings. And we're in the midst of doing a budgetary review. It appears right now that those two revenue sources are coming in about $350,000 short, and so we will be bringing a set of recommendations to the City Council during the month of April, because we want to get on top of this and not just wait it out. We think that it's important to do what we have done in the past, and that is when we see a trend developing, we address the trend right then.
Yes. Mr. Parker is absolutely correct. As far as review of revenues, we've gone through and looked through them in a detailed manner, and state revenues are out just a slight bit, and also we've got realignment with franchise fees, with FP&L franchise fees. I'm meeting with the representative from FP&L on Monday of this week coming up to review through exactly what FP&L sees. And the same thing with water and sewer. Dry weather is great because people are using lots of water. It's just the opposite of what you might think.
Good. Done.
I see that as a trend that's probably going to continue, and I think part of that decrease in franchise fees is partly my fault. We put in a solar hot water heater. We took advantage of a federal tax break to do it, and I've seen a big decrease in our electric bill, which was ridiculous before. And knowing all the tax breaks that were given for energy efficiency, solar, windows, et cetera, and so forth, that people took advantage of last year, they're going to start seeing that payback for them this year, and I think we're seeing the result of that. I don't see that trend doing anything except continue, so I think we should expect that downward trend to continue.
Okay. What's sort of puzzling is that you got the trend line going down in their franchise fees, but you've got the trend line increasing in their public service fees.
Yeah, well, you got to make up for the difference.
So it's one of those items where you scratch your head and said, it's the intuitiveness would be that both of them would be reacting.
Well, they're going to find a way to make money.
I understand, but it just seems like that, the two fees that we have that are related to FP&L would be moving in the same direction, and they're not. That's what's creating a little bit of the confusion.
Good, Don. Chief?
Yeah, because normally the water fees would track the FPL fees, and how's our have we got our population data yet?
Yeah, 56,048, which is approximately a little bit less than what the Beaver reports were from last year, which was slightly less than 57,000, but it's in the ballpark of what we expected. Some of the demographics were very revealing. If you kind of go back and look at some of those items in terms of the percentage of houses occupied versus the percentage of houses that are vacant, and that one, whether those are accurate counts or not, about 88%, as I recall, or almost 89% of our housing stock is occupied, with about 11% of the housing stock is vacant. So if you were thinking about if the complete housing stock were occupied, we would be approaching probably 60,000 in population.
Good. Ken, can you give us an update on where we're at with the foreclosures, and maybe show us in the future?
Let me give it. Well, let's get that for you because I don't have it
I
tonight.
got to ask the question, not exactly related to this, but I think the house is the development is in another community. She was saying that the majority of the houses are in foreclosure in her neighborhood. I didn't get exactly. I think it's in the county. I'm not sure which one. She said it's in excess of 30-some%.
Okay, we'll get you a listing, but when we did the thing with when we did our report when Standard & Poor were looking at it, we were very surprised at what they had, our bank owns and those that are in pre-foreclosure. Let us get that data. What kind of skews it is that, is some of the ways the banks are not moving properties into the foreclosure, and they're just allowing them
Yeah,
to
because they
be
got
occupied.
the 2 year deal, so they don't wanna pay all the maintenance fees, they don't pay anything.
Correct.
So they're only responsible for 2 years, so unless they got some money, the,
Let us see what we can get.
and it got into this, it got into the situation about a homeowner association that is going to fall and want to know what the responsibility and the liability was. And I said, well, I said, I can't answer that, but I do know that when homeowner associations, our overall master one went down, the quality of the community went down with it.
That's
So
correct.
I would encourage them to get somebody out and participate in it. Bob?
Yeah, there's a new theme coming out in the recent economic literature on housing and the like, and that is we're watching cities varying in how much problems they're encountering, and that we're watching neighborhoods and parts of regions. So we're having an interesting situation going on in Volusia County where there is some signs of actual recovery occurring in selected parts, while some parts of Volusia County are continuing to decline. So it's a real very, and the sense I got from looking and talking to some people that Port Orange was doing better, and it was a point of, we're not doing great, but we're certainly doing better than some of the surrounding towns and villages and,
Less bad.
yeah, less bad.
Any other questions? Yes, we go with him?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Not only will it give you an aggregate number, we'll map it for you, because I think that is important. That was one of the items when we were looking at the S&P, was when we mapped it, you were able to see what neighborhoods or what areas were being impacted.
Sometimes I think it's contagious within a neighborhood.
Yes, I think it
Yeah,
is.
somebody sees it and they start not taking care of it, the next time it's a domino effect. Citizen survey?